Back, Jim and Doug Show, episode 47, January 19, 20.
Championship Sunday.
Yes.
Championship Sunday.
Yep. So let's jump right into it, partner.
Yes.
First, let's get back. Let's touch base with how we got here. Last week, we were all pretty good. I missed on the Indy. I missed the Indy game. I gave the Colts maybe more credit. I thought Luck could really bring that home, but Kansas City they just dominated from start to finish.
Yes. So I think I was 3-1 if it came to picking winners, but against the spread, I don't think I was as good. I might have been 1-3 or 2-2.
Yeah, we were both 3-1. So look, we got the four teams that we kind of expected, right? They're probably the four best teams in the league this year, and
I would agree.
So that makes it awesome, right? That makes it the right matchups and so forth. So, all right, let's jump into our picks now. This is probably going to catch you a little off guard. I'm going to take the Rams and the Pats.
Okay, explain.
All right, so. I really put in a lot of confidence in this Sean McVay. I think, the only thing that worries me is I know Goff has had a great season and so forth, but I think they got talent all over the place, at least to match up with New Orleans. I know they're on the road and so forth, and we'll get to your picks in a second, but
yeah.
I think the Saints they could be beat. They're not unbeatable, and with the defense that the Rams have, and the intelligence that this McVay has shown all year long, I think they'll come up with a game plan that could at least challenge them. Well, what's the line? 3? 3.5?
It's 3.5. Saints are favored.
Right. Like I said, that's the right spread if you want to go with the spreads because they're home and so forth. The Saints. Breeze is 40. He's had a great year, but they're not unbeatable. So we'll take that. I'm gonna go with the Rams. I know that may be a surprise to you. So let me know your thoughts on the game.
All right. So I'll start. All right. We'll start with the Saints and Rams game. So I don't like either side really in this game. I think it's a very evenly matched game. I like, few teams have their strengths. The Saints pass rush was able to, actually get a little bit of pressure on Foles last week. But the Saints offensive line did not play well. And that's really the strength of the Rams right now. The Rams D-line has just been, they're pretty much hanging their hat on that on defense. Their secondary's been a little weak. Dak was able to make some plays last week. So I actually am going to agree with you on this. When it comes to, at least with the spread, I'm going to go with the Rams in this game. I think they'll win outright, actually, but I would bet it with the spread. I like that 3.5 points. I think it's going to be a close, 34-31 type game. Look, I haven't been on much thus far in the playoffs or really the season. So, take my picks with a grain of salt. But I think it'll be a higher scoring game. I think, it'll kind of be a back and forth, kind of reminiscent to their regular season matchup, which was also in New Orleans. The Rams have shown the ability that they can, they'll be able to, fall behind a little bit and, be able to make a comeback and kind of be able to stabilize the game. Goff impressed me last week with it. He didn't have a lot. They didn't put a lot on his plate, but he made the throws he had to make. Obviously, they rode that run game against Dallas, which I was very surprised by. Dallas's defense, I was very impressed with them all season, and they really didn't give up a lot on the ground. It really takes a lot for them to give up a big play on the ground, and they were just eaten alive by that Rams running offense.
That's kind of why I'm leaning. I'm saying, with Goff and the surprise, like I said, that now they got two separate weapons running the ball.
Yeah.
I mean, we know Gurley's a stud, but this Anderson, he's a bowling ball. I mean, what a surprise that was, and I think that opens up a lot for.
It's a really good 1-2 punch they have. Yeah, I think that's going to be, if they can get that going the same way, that's going to be instrumental. Obviously, keeping Breeze off the field, working the clock. I trust McVay. So I'm actually gonna go with you. So we're both gonna pick against the Saints in the Dome. So when we recap this game, we're gonna be like, why did we pick against the Saints in the Dome? That was stupid. So, but we're gonna take the Rams. So I'm gonna go with them. I like the 3.5 though. I want that to be noted. So definitely the Rams. So so you're taking. So the second game. This game's gonna be a fun one, man. I'm excited to watch this one. So Chiefs and Patriots. I'll let you start. You said you like the Pats.
I do, and like I said, I know a lot of people are saying Kansas City seems unbeatable, and yes, they've had a great season and Mahomes, but again, I'm gonna look toward the head coaching here, and I know Belichick is well aware of the weapons that they have, but who comes up with better game plans than him to defend? And I really have a lot more confidence. I think Mahomes will get his shots and so forth. And I've told you all season I'm a big Andy Reid fan, and I really like Patrick Mahomes a lot. And this Tyreek Hill, he's a weapon that scares me a lot. And I'm hoping that Belichick comes up with a game plan to kind of shut him down, because that's the weapon that Kansas City has. And if you can't contain him, they're going to be in trouble. But and I'm a guy that's always been in Tom Brady's camp, and I think he's running out of time. Not because he's unable to do it, but I just think this could be a beautiful ending to an incredible career, best quarterback of all time, and I'm looking for them to pull the upset in Kansas City. Now I know that the weather is going to be a factor. It's going to be cold, but both teams are used to playing in the cold. And I don't think it's gonna affect one team more than the other. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna go with Tom Brady, and like I said, I'm a big fan of Belichick, and I think he's a genius at this game, and that's my pick, and I'm anxious to hear yours. Go ahead, partner.
Okay. So first off, I think the weather actually has gotten a little better. I was reading up this morning, and I think the weather forecast took a turn for the better. So I think I'm not gonna say it's gonna be LA out there, but I think it's going to be like 25 degrees and clear. So I think it's that the weather will be less of a factor now. So I do, not that, like you said, not that I don't think it would give an advantage to either team, because they're both really used to it. So I'm going to go the opposite here. I'm going to take the Chiefs. It's funny you said Tyreek Hill was the weapon that Belichick wanted to shut down. I think the weapon that the Patriots really would have to focus on would be Kelsey. Kelsey, he was phenomenal against the Colts. The routes he ran, he was almost unguardable, and the rapport that he has with Mahomes, Mahomes is out of the pocket making some plays, and he has a way of kind of finding that open space for him, and Mahomes knows it too. And he's a catch and run guy.
Definitely a weapon.
He's got blazing speed, so I think he's going to be a huge factor. And Belichick does have a way of taking tight ends out of the game. So I really think that he would be more of the focus on Belichick. But I just think that Andy Reid, I think it's just his time, man. I think that the Chiefs kind of have it made right now with all the weapons they have. It's like I said with the Saints, what I thought it was going to be. It's like the boat with a bunch of leaks in it. You can't plug every leak. Every leak is going to sprout. So I think one guy will always be left open. I think it could be Sammy Watkins, could be Kelsey. There's just too many weapons for them. Now they have this guy Damian Williams running the ball. I mean, he looks almost as good as Hunt.
He's actually a surprise player to me too.
Yeah. Actually. So I like the way that they're playing, and the way their defense played last week. They really got after the quarterback. They against Luck, and they really were able to disrupt him and stop that offense, which I never saw coming. I thought you could pencil the Colts in for 30 points against the Chiefs, and they just completely laid an egg.
They were never in the game. They were never in the game.
Do I think that they'll play that well against Brady with the way that Brady got rid of the ball? No. But I think the Chiefs have enough to win. I think it'll be a lower scoring than people are saying. I'll say the Chiefs win like 27-20.
Okay. What's that line? 6?
No, it's 3.
That's 3 also? Okay.
Yeah, they're both around a field goal.
But I really can't tell you how impressed I was with the way. And listen, a lot of people picked the Chargers last week, and
Yeah.
Brady and them, they just picked them apart. They really they picked them apart.
Look, I mean, the way that they just came out and out physical them. They physically dominated them. You know, with the way that their line pushed them around, and they got Michelle going with the run game, and a lot of Brady's passes were just, you know, short. I mean, it's always kind of that way, but short dink and dunk passes that, you know, the defense is just not ready for. And the Chargers, I guess, a lot was made about how they came out against the Ravens with all those DBs on the field in order to kind of defend against Lamar Jackson and that run game, and they went with the same style defense again. And Belichick, McDaniels, and Brady, they all knew that. So what they did was they just used their physicality and pushed those DBs around, and was able to get the run game going. We were able to throw short passes with the linemen running out ahead, and that's really kind of how they did it. So I was impressed. I really was. I just think the Chiefs are going to be able to match them point for point now. And
I think we know, and like I said, you hit a good point before. You mentioned, you know, the Patriots game. It's not run and gun, bomb it down the field. It's the short passes, and I'm going to tell you, this James White, he's a big factor, and you know, I think Bell will run the ball, but White out of the backfield he's tough to contain too.
I mean, for sure. You know? He's I mean, I think he had like a franchise record, I think, for catches in a game last week. I think he broke some kind of record. And I think he had 14 or 15 catches. So, and most of them probably behind the line of scrimmage. So, I mean, he's always been Brady's right hand man. Guys like Brady's always had a guy like that. Kevin Falk, Deion Lewis. You know,
exactly.
There's all kind of players like that. Burkhead. They always have, you know, guys running backs that are able to receive. You know, Brady loves those guys. So, Danny Woodhead. Another one. So Brady loves those guys, having those guys around. So, all right. So just to recap, so we both like the Rams, and I like the Chiefs, and you like the Pats.
Yep, and I'm going to stick with it. And like I said, I don't want to tell you I told you so on the Phillip Rivers thing. I've been telling you all year long. Puts up the big numbers, but when it comes,
let's talk about that. That was really just. I was very surprised. I really thought the Chargers, they had all the mojo. I really thought that they were going to at least make it a game. And I wasn't really impressed. You know, the Patriots, I'm always impressed with the Patriots, but I just don't think that this was one of their better teams. I just thought that they could be had. And like I said, they just came out and physically dominated them.
And I think I agree with you. This isn't one of those teams where, you know, when they went 15-0 or whatever and lost the last game to the Giants and so forth.
Not even close.
Yeah, but that's the, you know, that's the thing that just I can't get away from it. I just think the coaching and the ability to make a game plan, even with the talent level that they have. I think on paper, Kansas City, they seem across the board more talented. But like I said, I'm going to stay with Tom Brady and his experience and Belichick. That's
all right. Now, real quick, I want to talk about that Saints-Eagles game a little bit. So what did you think of, I mean, first off, that's it for Foles now. That's it for Foles as an Eagle. So I don't know where he'll go. I don't think it'll be the Giants, but we'll see where he'll go. But that was just a tough loss with Jeffrey, you know, going over the middle and dropping that pass. I mean, that was just a tough loss for them.
And listen,
I'm real sorry to see it. I'm real sorry.
That's why I think the Saints are a little vulnerable. Like I said, I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles had a lot of talent that they could even stay in the game with New Orleans. And that's why I think the Rams, you know, they have a little bit more of an advantage because they've shown all season long, you know, one of the best teams in the league, high-powered offense. And, you know, for Philadelphia to keep it close, you know, in New Orleans, you know, that shows that New Orleans can be beat. And that's where I'm resting my hat on this one. You know.
Okay. Yeah, Philadelphia. I was really stunned the way they started the game, 14-0. And Breeze with the pick on the first play. That was, you know, tough. But what really got them back in it was that defensive play. Lattimore with the interception when the Eagles were up 14-0 and they got greedy and they threw another deep ball on Lattimore. Lattimore picked it off. That kind of changed turned the tide of the game a little bit.
Right, but it shows that, like I said, New Orleans can be a little bit vulnerable here. So,
yes. for sure.
That's good, and I'm glad that you brought that Foles thing up. It's kind of funny because I was thinking about that too. You know, he stands to make $20 million if he wants to hold a clipboard in Philadelphia, but you know, maybe he's got more talent. And you're right. I think the Giants have their heart set on Haskins. I wanted to touch base on kind of what your thoughts were there. And
I hope so. I actually am not convinced that I'm not convinced they're going to draft a quarterback. I'm not. But I mean, I don't really know yet. It's kind of early in the process, but I like Haskins a lot, man. I would like him. I really would like him to come here. I would like Murray too, but I just know the Giants wouldn't draft him, so I don't even think about it. But I think Haskins is. I think if they're going to draft a quarterback, it'll be Haskins, or they'll sign a veteran. I think, or so maybe like a Teddy Bridgewater type guy.
And I'm kind of on the fence with Haskins. Listen, he had a great season, but you know they didn't. I'm still a little on the fence with him. I still do think the Giants this time around are going to draft a quarterback, and I'm not sold on Murray. I'm not sold on the fact that he's not going to play baseball. You know, we talk about him. We compare him a little bit to Michael Vick and so forth, but he's a lot smaller than Michael Vick was.
Yeah.
You know?
That's why I don't think the Giants. I just don't see the Giants taking him. He's just not a Giant type quarterback. I love him, and I would like it because I do think he's good. He has a really nice arm, and he's very, very accurate, and he's mobile, and he's got blazing speed, and he could really add another dimension to his offense. But I just don't. That's just not the type of quarterback the Giants draft. The type of quarterback the Giants draft is Dwayne Haskins. He's big. He's strong. Dwayne Haskins he's mobile, but he's not really a runner. He's a pocket passer, and he comes from a strong program, which the Giants value too. So
yeah, he's a big, durable kid too.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give him that. You know?
And he's a Jersey guy. So
that'll have to, you know, let's say they do go with him, and I wouldn't have a problem with it because you know he's a solid player. You know, it's gonna have to change. That, you know, Shermer's gonna have to figure out. You know, he's not your traditional drop back passer like Eli Manning. He's a little bit more mobile and can run. And I think with Beckham and so forth, I think he could make that work. I really do.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I mean, look, he can beat you from the pocket. I think, but. You know, the things he can do with him moving around, I think it would help the offense tremendously. So I'm for it. I'm all for it. I hope they draft him, or I don't know if they'll be able to sit there at 6 and draft him. They might have to move up, but I hope he ends up a Giant. I do like him a lot. But yeah, that's really what the story is. I think it'll be that. There's the kid from Duke that people like, Daniel Jones. I can see the Giants.
I watched him play too. He's that traditional drop back passer. He's got a gun too. I mean,
yeah, he's good. I don't think for the first round. I don't think that's our guy. And look, they may just say, you know, run it back with Eli and take a defensive player. And as you know, as much as I'm ready for a new quarterback, our defense could really use some help too. So I think no matter what, we'll get somebody good.
Absolutely. I think the defense is. Like I said, I can't believe this. Olivier Vernon made the Pro Bowl
because
I'm like we watched him every week, and I didn't see him earn nickel one for what they're paying him. I mean,
I don't understand. I didn't get that at all. I don't get it. But you know, what are you gonna do?
So who's your early pick? I mean. It looks like a lot of people are saying the number one pick in the draft is this kid Bosa from Ohio State.
I would say Bosa is almost definitely going to go number one, unless there's obviously we're going to take trades out of them because obviously you know they happen. But I think with the Cardinals are sitting, I think you have to take Bosa. That kid he might be just as good as his brother, maybe better. Like
I know, but
he is
you know
a phenomenal pass rusher.
I know, and I'm glad that you brought that up because I don't think Joey Bosa has really lived up to the hype and the expectation.
He's good. When the thing with him is he gets injured. When he plays, he's always in the mix. That guy Bosa, he's very good.
Okay.
Yeah. He's really really good. He had an issue. He was hurt, and I think he was hurt. He missed like the first maybe 6 or 7 games this year, and he finally came in, and he wreaks havoc. That guy, I'm telling you. Next year you'll see him maybe for a full season, hopefully. You'll see him up at the top of the stack standings. He's very good.
Because he's got some proving to me he's got to do. Because I haven't seen him at the level. What was he? Probably the second or third pick in the draft.
I think it was third pick. Yeah.
Yeah, and he held out for big money and so forth. And I just don't think he's lived up to his expectations. I do like his brother a lot. He's very similar and so forth. And I don't disagree with you. I think he's probably going to. I don't know what happened to this kid Oliver at Houston. He was up there.
Yeah,
that end of the season thing with the run-in with the coach.
He's got like attitude issues, and he just didn't play as well this year, Oliver. But the talent's there for him. If the Giants ended up with Oliver, I'd be doing backflips because he's very good too. The talent's there with him. I think it's just his attitude, and he didn't. I think he was nagged by injuries this year. So I don't think, but I think he's gonna fall down the board a little bit. But whoever gets him is gonna get a valuable player. And then there's Josh Allen, the second Josh Allen from Kentucky. He's a very strong pass rusher. I like him a lot. Quinnen Williams, the kid from Bama, and then it's really a very defensive draft. A lot of, at least towards the top there is a lot of good defensive players. So
Williams from Alabama, I think, right?
Yeah, Williams from Alabama, Quinnen Williams. He was really not as high on the board to start the year, and he kind of came on as the season went. And I think he was so good that he got Heisman votes. He got Heisman votes. He was that good. So he was kind of an under the radar guy, but he's very good.
I think he could be an impact player too. I mean,
strong player.
I'm looking forward to the draft. It always, but I'm going to stick with this, and I think the Giants this time around. And like I said, I think Eli's still in for one more year. I don't think they're going to give the ball if they get Haskins. I don't think he starts on day one, but he's a talent, and I wouldn't be bummed if they picked him. But you may be right. They may have to move up. I'm not sure who's ahead of the Giants that needs a quarterback.
No one, but I think they may have to move up because another team, like the Jaguars or Dolphins, like those teams like that, they need him too. So they may move up too. So the Giants may have to move up just to ensure that they get him.
And if they don't, I think that's where Foles ends up. I think he ends up in Jacksonville.
I was thinking the same thing. It's a great spot for him, and I think they just hired his old quarterback coach. I want to say, to be the coordinator. So I think that might be a spot for him, and I hope it is. That way, the Giants one less guy that would try and jump ahead of the Giants to take Haskins.
I agree.
So I think I hope that happens. And I'm glad to see him out of Philly because he's just good at he makes that team go for some reason. So I'm happy to see you Foles off the Eagles. So I hope that happens.
Hey, look, you can't dispute what he's done in the postseason and so forth. So
do you think that's a bad call by them?
You know what? I'm not sure because I think this guy Wentz is a little vulnerable. I think he's got health issues, and if he's really got this back issue why they sat him down, they're going to be in trouble if they let Foles walk and bank on Wentz because he just hasn't seemed to be healthy enough. There's one thing after another with him.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, if you're talking about it on the surface, I think Wentz is the better player, and it's pretty obvious that you do that. And they traded a lot to go up and get him and make him their guy. So he's the better player, but there's something with Foles that when he comes in the game for them, he just makes something happen. And they win games, and he's still young. And if they were to keep Foles and move on from Wentz, they could get big draft picks from them.
I agree.
For whoever that they traded him to. So that's another option that they have. I mean, I think they kind of came out and already said that Wentz is staying, but it's a legitimate question at this point, I would say.
I mean, I'm not sure Foles is a $20 million a year quarterback, but then again, look, if the Vikings paid Kirk Cousins, he hasn't won anything. He's making at least $20 million. So, I mean, the pay scale is off the charts now. I don't think that's, it really doesn't matter. The league makes more money than they could possibly print, than the Treasury Department can print. But is he worth $20 million? Hey, if that's what the market rate is getting, I'd take a shot on him.
Yeah, 100%. So, all right. So, you want to touch on baseball, a little hot stove, a little bit?
Well, there's really not much going on. I mean, the Machado and Harper thing is still still up
And I
there.
feel like they're holding everything up. You know, that I feel like there's a lot of good players out there that are waiting to get deals, but they're kind of just waiting to see where Machado and Harper go. You know, they just like AJ Pollock, Marwin Gonzalez, guys like that are out there ready to sign deals, and Machado and Harper are holding strong. And then, you know, it just doesn't look to me like either of them is going to get close to what Stanton got as far as his contract. And the goal for Harper was to beat Stanton, and he's not going to get that.
I don't know, but the Nationals offered him $300 million. I mean, I don't know.
He took it.
He didn't take it because he thinks he can get it from somebody else, and the Phillies may be willing to pay him that money.
Yeah, I guess so. Harper, I mean, the Machado thing, I think Machado is going to get less than Harper. I think that's obvious. But I think Machado, the thing with him is the Yankees are just refusing to get involved with him. And if the Yankees get involved with him, I think his price would drive up. But the Yankees are trying to just sit in there. And the more it goes on, the longer it goes on, I just feel like the Yankees may hop back in because it came out that the White Sox offered him $175. I think it was refuted that was true. I think it's more of a 7-year, $200 something million deal. You know, poor guy, he got offered that, but I think the Yankees, you know, the longer this goes on, the Yankees might just hop in and offer him, you know, beat it by a couple million and take him.
I don't know. I think that if the Yankees were really interested in this, you know, they would have already made that offer. I just don't. For some reason, I just don't think Cashman has enough confidence in Machado to make that kind of investment. And hey, I think we talked about it last week. It sounds like he's going to Chicago. And yeah, 175. You know, how ridiculous is this? Seems like a low ball offer. But there may be other incentives around that. I just don't think the Yankees have an interest in it.
And no matter what, there's always opt-outs and stuff, so you can go back to free agency and try and get more, you know, see what you can do.
Right.
But you know what? I think a part of it is, you know, we saw this last offseason with the owners. They just don't want to give out those long-term deals. They just don't.
Yeah.
And they're getting smarter. Yeah. Like that. The days of the 10-year deal are gone. I think Stanton will be the last one for a while. Maybe Trout might get one. But besides that, I mean, you're not going to see those long A-Rod, Stanton, Cano type deals. You just won't see it.
And listen, you know, I keep that in mind. I think Trout is a free agent after this coming season, and I think the Yankees have it for him. That's who they want.
Oh, I would love it. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know with him. You know, he's a strange guy. You know, he's not really like a Harper or Machado. He doesn't really make his feelings known. He's kind of unassuming. You know, there's talk about, you know, why doesn't he get promoted more? But he's just kind of a quieter, unassuming guy. And like the thing with him is like, you know, you never know what he's thinking. So I don't know if he wants to be a Yankee, but man, I hope they go for him.
Oh, he's a Jersey kid. He wants to be a Yankee in the worst way. You're right, though. He just doesn't mouth off, and I like that kind of player. I like that. He would fit well with Judge in that outfield. Both of them are just
sure.
They just go through their business and so forth. It'd be great.
Yeah, I'm for it. He is a Philly guy though too. You got to remember that. He grew up in South Jersey, so he's more of a Philly guy. You know, he's always at the Eagles game. So there's talk about the Phillies going after him too. So we'll see. You know, Phillies are a lot of talk though. You never know with them. You know, they say they're going to spend all this money, and they haven't. I mean, it'll probably end up with Harper, but you never know.
Well, I think, listen, if the Phillies want to be a player in this league, they need some kind of a big splash. So, if it seems like they got the money, apparently.
Oh yeah, I think they do got the money for sure. There's talk they might sign both Machado and Harper. You don't even know with them. So they're in the mix for everything. But I do agree. I think Yankees are out of it. Mets, I think, are done now. They got they're signing with Lowry. So I mean, the Mets improved their team a good deal. I think I like the moves they made. You know, Cano, I mean, obviously he's going to be on the older side, but you know he's durable and you know he'll hit.
And I think, listen, the Lowry, it's not a bad signing. You know, it really didn't cost him a hell of a lot. But he may have had his best year. He's an injury-prone guy. He was healthy with the A's. You know, and that's kind of really not a major signing. It's not going to increase the Mets' chances of being a contender in that league. But, hey,
no.
He's a good player. And, You're right. Him with Cano, I think Cano's best days are behind him too. So, it's the Mets are just like the Jets. They always seem to be, one step behind everybody.
I like the moves they made. I think they have a nice bullpen, and obviously with the starting pitching they have, they just need to produce. They need to hit better than last year. They need professional hitters, and that's what Lowry is. That's what Cano is. Yep. So, do they have anybody? Obviously, I think Cespedes is out for the season already. So they have professional hitters there that should be able to produce enough runs, at least on the days that DeGrom pitches, to get wins. So,
and listen, before we get off the baseball thing, there was certainly a notable passing in Yankees history. Mel Stottlemyre passed away.
Yeah, that's tough.
When you look at it, he won 20 games 3 different times at the time, these were lean Yankee years. I mean, and he's been nothing but a class act. He was pitching coach. He was pitching coach for the Mets and so forth. Great Yankee. Absolutely one of the all-time favorites from the 70s. No question about that.
Yeah, and he played on some bad Yankee teams, right?
Oh,
really
they were terrible.
Yeah, and he was like, one of the only bright spots. And I actually, when he died, I went back and looked at, his stats and his reference page and everything, and I saw that he lost 20 games in a season, and he was an all-star. And he had like a 3.8 ERA, and he lost 20 games. So that really kind of probably speaks to how bad that Yankee team was.
Oh, they were terrible at that time. I didn't know he lost 20 one season, though. I didn't know that.
Look it up. He had some years, but like you could tell he was a good pitcher because he would also have he also had like 14 wins. I bet you he had a lot of hard luck losses, when or the defense behind him didn't play well and things like that. So I could tell that he was kind of one of the few bright spots on those teams because he never. I know he pitched in a World Series, but he never. I don't think he ever won one, and he was on a lot of bad teams.
I know, but he was a class act, always was, and like I said, I wanted to make sure we noted that before we signed off.
Yes, absolutely, for sure. He was and you talk about the '90s Yankees, man. Him and Zimmer and Torre, those are the guys, man. And my first memories watching baseball was they were the coach. They were the coaches. And I'll never forget those days. They really made me fall in love with it.
Yep. But like I said, this is championship weekend, so we'll focus on that. We'll touch base next week, and
yes.
Like I said, college hoops is starting to heat up and so forth, and we'll talk about that. And Wimbush transferred from Notre Dame.
Oh yeah. He's going to UCF.
UCF. Yeah.
UCF. That's an interesting spot because if they know how to win there, and with his experience, I think they might do well again. I don't know.
I saw this kid play. I got a lot of faith in him that he just didn't seem to fit into Brian Kelly and Notre Dame's offense.
Yeah.
So.
And plus,
he's still a good player.
Book completely took over. I mean, say what you want about the last game he played, but the Book season was really unreal. No question it was the right move. But he's gonna flourish at UCF. Like I said, they don't play anywhere near a Notre Dame schedule, so I think he'll be promising. So listen, before we sign off again, let's note our sponsors. Lynch Toyota of Manchester, Connecticut, been with us. Harley Davidson of Utica, of course, been with us all along, and DeFilippi's Bakery are one of our newest sponsors, but ardent supporter of the Jim and Doug Show. Absolutely, 100%. Thank you to them as always. All right. So I guess we'll have to recap it next week. We'll talk about it, and we'll be looking ahead to the Super Bowl. We will. It should be 2 good games. Best teams are playing, and that's all you can hope for when you're an NFL fan. So we'll see how we do. We're on the same page with the Rams, and we just disagree on the Pats and KC. But I'm not going to be surprised if KC wins. So we'll talk about it. We'll wrap it up next week. All right. Take care, everybody. All right, partner. Have a good day.